you should absolutely buy the Apple Watch Series 6. And if you give me 5 minutes, I'll tell you why. So starting off, let me simply say this is going to be the second and now what is going to be a 3-part series on the channel here. This portion of the series is going to cover if you are already an Apple Watch aficionado or somebody who's at least familiar with the Apple Watch. I'm going to specifically cover why the 6 is superior to the SE and why I think it is the Apple Watch to purchase. So first, let's go into the pros themselves, and there is a long list of pros for the entire Apple Watch line. I'm going to focus in on just the ones for the 6. Recently announced, we have updates to the Sleep app, we have updates to the health apps, we have improved screens, we have improved battery time, we have improved processing time. Lots of pros for the Apple Watch 6 itself. What makes it so superior to the SE? Specifically, the 6 has additional hardware processing that has been built into it. It has an updated proximity sensor, which, if rumor is to be believed, will be used with an upcoming tile competitor that will allow you to find objects throughout your house simply from your watch. So that's the first item. The second item here is you have an updated O2 sensor that takes measurements of your blood oxygen level. Now, as we've all seen here recently with fires, with COVID, with several other things, understanding your O2 levels actually can be a decent indicator of health. Now, Apple is always quick to point out the fact that they are not intending the Apple Watch to be a replacement for medical devices, nor is it designed to diagnose or do any kind of medical measurements that you might need. However, it can give you a general idea of your overall health and overall wellness and track that over a long period of time, something that a lot of medical devices actually are not doing for most people. They're spot-in-time kind of measurements. It also has an EKG capability, specifically on the 6, not the SE. The last items that I want to note here, the always-on display is a hallmark of the Series 5. It is what convinced me to go ahead and pick up an Apple Watch. Having my display always showing something, the time, the weather, anything like that, allows me to just quickly glance without an awkward double take like that, without making sure that it's picked up when I've moved my arm. There's several different mechanisms that Apple's put in place to kind of notify the watch that you want information, but if it's always on, I don't have to worry about that. My information that I want is right there, and Apple has managed to do that without impacting the battery life. They still project an 18-hour battery life for this model. Also, 1.5-hour full charge and an improvement to the processor inside, giving you 20% faster app loading and overall performance. The cons. The price, quite honestly. Apple has an Apple tax, and the 6, compared to the SE, certainly has that tax as well. But the reason that I recommend the 6 over the SE, quite honestly, is that always-on display. I think once you experience the benefits of an always-on display, you're not going to want to give up that capability in order to pick up the SE version. Yes, you're going to save a little bit of money, but honestly, these tend to be a little bit more fashion statements and a little bit more tech-oriented products to begin with. The SE is great for a family member. In fact, Apple recently introduced a new family access plan that you can pair multiple devices to the same phone, which is great for children or spouses who have maybe an Android device. The SE falls in line in that area very, very well. Lastly, you get additional colors with the S line that you do not get with the SE line. Again, it's the little things that maybe prove that you should get the SE or prove that you should get the S. For me, it all came down to that always-on display. The 6 is a wonderful smartwatch. If you have an iPhone, there is simply no alternative out there that's going to give you as great of performance and as great of an experience as this watch will. I'm TheGrayingTech. If you've enjoyed this content, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you are considering an Apple Watch or you've had one and maybe you actually didn't like it. What have I missed in form of the cons? Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.